Hello, I'm Rajesh Deo from sportsnasha, and with me is our own Mr. Yajurvindra Singh, ex-India cricketer, world record holder for maximum number of catches in an innings, and Maharashtra captain. Sir, welcome. Tomorrow our series with South Africa is starting,
Yeah.
and as always we cricket lovers feel playing in India is different, playing in South Africa, Australia, England, New Zealand is different. We are used to play to a height of ball rising to knee or to waist high, and suddenly the ball will come to chest high. So, do you think we have a able batting lineup to handle that pace attack?
First of all, we have to look at this is the best, I think, Indian side more than anything else mentally, as well as you would say performance wise, that has gone out of this country. Normally, India has always looked at a side which is, there was always a struggling side or a new side, or even during Tendulkar's time and all of that. One never looked at them winning a series. This is the first time India is number one in the test ranking. So we have a status to keep to. We have something to fight for, because that number one makes us really the best team in the world. So whether we go, and we have got this, we've achieved this playing a lot of test matches at home naturally. And what you said is right. The conditions are going to be different. But then these players have been there. Most of them have already visited South Africa. Rahane has done extremely well there. So has Virat Kohli. So has Cheteshwar Pujara. So I mean, it's not like they're going into areas where they have never been before. It's only that's the basic reason that one has all this confidence, about this team going there, because we feel that now they're right for it. That there's till now we have, by the way, won only 2 test matches in South Africa till now, and we feel that yes, this is the side which has got bowling, fast bowling. This has got spin bowling, as well as it's got batting, and all our batsmen are now in true form, except for Rane, who I think will come about anyway to do well. So I think we are just right. We are well prepared. We are really, that's what one can actually identify, is that we are very well prepared for the first time.
Right.
And we are going there.
Yeah.
There are certain glitches. We have to keep in mind that we have not had any practice matches. We have not given the team enough time to play there. That acclimatization is a very important factor. Those are the only things that one worries about.
Right.
This team, is that will they be able to cope up with the situation, like you said, from being waist downwards to chest.
Yeah.
Whether they'll be able to change fast enough. That's a question. But these are all talented cricketers, and it is now a profession. So they have to do that. And I'm sure they will.
Cheteshwar Pujara said, leaving the ball will be very, very crucial. How you leave the ball. And we have seen Mohinder Amarnath doing that, Sunil Gavaskar doing that, Vishwanath doing that, Vengsarkar doing that. And even in the last series, we saw Murli Vijay did that very effectively. He was a very good opening batsman, and he developed into a almost world-class opening batsman from that series. So how important is leaving the ball?
Oh, very important. It's like in England. When we went to England, whenever we went along, it was, what happens in these conditions, the ball moves late and it moves off the wicket because they have green wickets. So what happens with that is that you have to be very agile mentally to think that I don't want to play this. I'm not on the pitch of the ball.
Right.
And therefore, leaving the ball before you get set is very important. It's as important as maybe stroke play.
Right.
It's later on, once your body and your feet start moving,
right,
and you're getting used to the conditions, things become easier. But so that what Pujara said is bang on. And that's what the Indian team I'm little worried about, because they've got so spoiled playing one-day cricket.
Yeah, in 2020.
2020, and if you've seen, every time there's been a green wicket, we have struggled because everyone wants to play these flamboyant shots. The reason being also that the media and even the let's say the spectators who are watching
Pressure from the crowd,
are always looking at, he's made 30 runs in
so many
58 balls and 70 balls, and it's just, that's not Test cricket. And people have to realize and understand and learn about the game, that when I watch cricket, actually, I'm so thrilled to watch a batsman leave the ball as much as watching him play a wonderful shot.
True.
Because that has got an art by itself. That's where technique comes into it. And that's what makes me watch the game for the whole day.
Right. Now, Mohinder Amarnath was a very good player outside India. This is what I have observed. His scores, if you go through his statistics, he played very well outside India. In Australia, he played well. In West Indies, he played well. In England, he played well. But he was not so successful in India, where going is so easy. Because everybody is scoring runs. That time, he didn't click. It's the same story I can see with Ajinkya Rahane. And he has also succeeded very well outside India. When the ball comes onto the bat, he is successful. So I think his chances are bright. What do you say?
Plus, of course, Rahane is a great player. I mean, look at it. He's got 100 at Lords. He's got 100 at MCG. In Sydney as well, and even in South Africa. Here is a batsman who's got runs at every top center in the world.
Correct.
And centers, how many people can boast of that? And to talk about his batting is immaterial, because I mean, he's a great player. He just has to become greater.
Right.
When you talk about Mohinder Amarnath,
Right.
again, he was a good hooker. He was a good shot, and main thing when you play abroad, and what Rahane has and what Mohinder has, forget anything else. They are both very strong mentally.
Right.
They are very strong, and they have what we say in Hindi, jigar.
Right.
Jigar hai unke paas, and that is the thing about these two players, and that's why they perform so well abroad. India, somehow they get a little complacent. It's not that they've both not scored in India. Of course they've scored, but they shine out because of their attitude, and that I don't know. There's something much more that they come out when they're playing in conditions which are difficult for most Indian batsmen. And don't worry on Rahane, he will come right.
Right. About the fast bowling of South Africa, Steyn is coming after injury. Morne Morkel getting slightly older in the last series. Rabada and Philander will be our challenges. And what general opinion of cricket lovers is, first time we have a bowling side which can match their fast bowling. Like we have Shami, Umesh Yadav, Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, Ishant Sharma, and even Bumrah. So what do you say about that, sir?
I think so. I think what you've said is right. If they put a green wicket, we can compete with them, definitely, because we have better movers of the ball than what they have. When you talk about Bhuvaneshwar Kumar and Shami, they move the ball extremely well. So does Bumrah. And we have pace in Ishant Sharma and Umesh Yadav. You're forgetting. He's also in very good.
140s.
Yes, and I think today pace bowling is not our issue. I think it's just going to be that can they get used to the conditions which I mentioned earlier. Now that brings me to a very interesting part, is the cricket ball. See, when we watch them all move this ball, it has been with the SG ball in India. Now you're going to use a Kookaburra ball, which is totally different, which doesn't have the same amount of seam, which doesn't move later on. There's no reverse swing. So initially you get the movement. After that, you don't get the movement. Now, bowling with that ball is also different from bowling over here. How fast can they acclimatize themselves to that sort of a ball? And to the length, because the length over there, because of the bounce, is very different from the length over here. If you bowl too much ahead, you can land up into trouble as well. So those are the things. We may say that our bowlers, because we've seen them in Indian condition, they're doing extremely well. But sometimes what happens, that ball doesn't move. A Duke ball or a Kookaburra ball, if you're not used to, then you cannot utilize that ball so well. So how well will they acclimatize themselves to that is very important. So let's just not compare. Those guys are used to that ball. We have to bowl with something which is bowl with something that's going to be very different. Yeah.
Now that Dale Steyn coming after injury. So we always talk about match fitness. So he will take time. No, some match fitness time is required. So will he be a same threat as he used to be 3-4 years back?
See, he was the greatest, one of the best bowlers that South Africa has ever produced, and he has naturally the speed and the talent. They would not include him if they actually have a doubt that he's not fully fit.
Right.
And that they must have seen from the side matches, from the nets, how he's performing, what he's doing. I think as a brand, Steyn itself is quite dangerous. And remember, he's an experienced bowler. So he knows, and he's got a lovely outswinger and an in-swinger. So even look at Anderson at this, he doesn't bowl at that breathtaking speed, but his movement and his control has got him where he is. Similar thing happened with Zair Khan, if you remember. So as it happened to Dennis Lillee, as well as Richard Headley. So maybe Steyn may not come bowling the speed that we are used to, but he may come along at around 130, 138, 140 kilometers, but bowl with that experience and accuracy and with a brand behind him. Becomes a little bit a problem too. So I think they'll use him for that purpose.
Right. Now composition of 11 for Indian team will be a big challenge, because I think we will go with 6 batsmen, 1 wicketkeeper and 4 bowlers. Now if we go like this, then where is the space for Hardik Pandya, and which 3 fast bowlers will play and which spinner will play? So it's a challenge for the captain and management, right? So
see, now I gather Jadeja is not well, so there's no other spinner. So Ashwin automatically finds a place in the side. Whether we like it or not, he'll be there, and he should be there because he's the leading spin bowler of the world. So how can we not have them? We are going to miss. Forget to spin. We are going to miss a sort of a wrist spinner. Because we don't have anybody. We don't have a leg spinner. We don't have a Chinaman googly bowler. And that's where I thought Indian selectors have faltered. They have not taken somebody like Kuldeep Yadav. Yes, correct. They have not taken him, or Chahal, or any leg spinner who's bowling. And that is very important, because South Africa basically do not play wrist spinners well. You've seen Shane Warne and everybody else. Everybody performs, and we are missing that. I think more than what has happened with this the selection committee has been, we are challenging South Africa in their fast bowling department. We know that we have an equally good batting lineup. Now we are going to challenge you in your own turf as fast bowling versus fast bowling, rather than saying, okay, let's not play so many fast bowlers and let's play somebody who can sort of mesmerize them and get the wickets.
Some surprise package.
And remember, I think Cape Town has had a bit of a problem where it's been pretty dry weather-wise. So although your wicket may be green, within the 3rd day it will become pretty dry with the sunshine. So it may not have that same movement, it may not have that same life, and that's where you require a spinner. And I still feel we are missing somebody, a wrist spinner, because I would rather have played a wrist spinner there.
What about Pandya?
Pandya, he's done extremely well as a test cricketer, and I think we have to encourage him as an all-rounder, and he's coming out to becoming a good all-rounder from the way he's bowled and batted, and his performance in test cricket is something that we cannot dispute as such. But yeah, finding a spot, do we want to play him or you want to play Rohit Sharma? Now, it is something that they have to look about. I think that's where Rane comes very important, and his form comes into play. I think if Rane starts getting runs, then automatically we don't need somebody to accommodate him, accommodate another batsman. I think that's another worry that the Indian team has. And I don't think they should have that.
Sir, finally, we have understood that you also have played all-time greats of South Africa. So we would like to hear from you that what was your experience about that?
Oh, they were tremendous cricketers. Unfortunately, I couldn't play them. We couldn't play South Africa because of the restrictions that were there. But I did get the opportunity to face some of these great giants when India toured England. And so naturally they played for the county games. There was Clive Rice, their first ever captain. Oh, he was a brilliant batsman, a fantastic bowler, and a cricketing mind.
Right.
He's the one who helped Richard Headley get back his form and told him how to adjust his run-up and everything else.
Rhythm.
Yeah, and we were playing when they were pretty old. And then we came across that tyrant, Mike Proctor, who bowled from the wrong leg. I'll tell you, I've been, I remember we were playing Gloucester, and that's the side he was playing, and Gloucester was the number one side with Zahir Abbas and Sadiq Mohammed and all playing for that team. So they were winning everything in the county, and the Indian team in the first innings, we didn't do badly, and Proctor really didn't bowl all out. And then we went into field, and I got, with my medium pacers, I got 5 wickets or 6 wickets. It was whatever. I did very well. The ball moved and this and that. And suddenly, Proctor decided to go all out against us. And believe it or not, we were all out 90 odd runs. And except for Gavaskar again getting 30 runs, all of us were his victim. I think got 8 victims or 7 victims. So these were all-rounders who got you runs as well as wickets. They were match winners. When you talk about Hardik Pandya and all of them, the difference between a Kapil Dev and a Hardik Pandya is Kapil could get you runs and get you 7-8 wickets if the conditions went on. Same thing with Proctor, same thing with Clive Rice.
Same
Thing with, you would say, with a lot of Gary Sobers and naturally
Hadley,
South Africa, yes, all of them, they were equally good with the bat. So, they were always a threat. And the biggest threat for us used to be at that time Botham. Yeah, that was, the fellow would come, score 120 odd runs and get 5 wickets.
Golden arm.
Yeah. So they were always doing something like that. And this is where I'll tell you, I was, then the batting of chaps like Barry Richards. South Africa had some phenomenal players. Even Tony Greig was South African. And they all went and played in England, and then some of them naturally, Kevin Peterson again. So somehow the problem is that South Africa as a cricketing nation, the Proctors, Pollock, even, do you remember the legend time when he came here and he got runs? How old was he? 50 or 48 or 49? Yeah. And he was hitting sixers. I tell you that. So you could imagine the greatness of these players. And they have a real history of cricket. And I'm very fortunate to have played against some of these. It's really. I think I'm so happy and so fortunate that I played against a Proctor, a Clive Rice, Imran Khan, Kapil Dev naturally as a teammate, a Richard Headley. What more do you want? These were the all-time greats. I should have played against Gary Sobers. But maybe I wouldn't have played at that time. They're so good.
Lastly, now, Sir Ravi Shastri has said, Indian team is on the verge of creating a history. That is, achieving something which never done so far. So, what do you say about that?
Like I said, we started off with this, will this team perform there? And I'm very much with Ravi Shastri. This is a team that is totally prepared.
Right.
Totally prepared.
There is no weak link. Correct.
Yeah, they've got everything. They've got spin bowling. I mean, whatever we say, we may say we need, everybody wants somebody extra always. I mean, you need another batsman and you need another this, that is all there.
Right.
But look at the batting strength we have, and what is the average? Look at the Rahul, look at like Murli Vijay. We don't know Shikhar Dhawan. We don't know who to choose from our batting lineup.
Absolutely.
And all of them, one chap falls sick, the other chap comes and gets 100. Or like somebody comes and gets a 100 and still can't find a place in the side. So I mean, we're really into something which is phenomenal for Indian cricket where batting is concerned. As well as bowling. I mean, if Ishant Sharma doesn't do well, there is other